All right, y'all, let's go ahead and get into this finale for Love Island Games, child. Let's go ahead and let's just talk about this thing real fast. First of all, Sydney and Toby. She over there nervous because of his Broadway performance that he put on, fighting over the damn chair trying to sit next to Garvey. But she is hoping that America sees how well they work together, right? But in my all, for me, I just did not want to see them in the finals, nowhere near it. Okay, Haki. I mean, they already made it to fourth place, but I wanted them to have been the ones to be eliminated. So he says that he's proud of her and happy that they are there together. I'm like, boy, shut your ass, shut up, Toby, shut your punk, shut up, okay? Now you happy because y'all made it to being one of the fourth couples where you just was not believing in her ass, and now I wish that you would have partnered up with damn Garvey, just so your ass probably could have been eliminated. All right, hello. Anyway, so he asked her how was she feeling, and she says that she didn't feel great, but she also didn't want to prove him right. Okay, based on he was asking her how she was feeling since the situation, everything went down, and that's what she said. Now, of course, they eventually hugged it out. He over there talking about how he missed her and stuff, and I'm like, blah blah blah, shut the hell up. He's fake as hell. That's just what it is. I don't think he's interested in you like that, Sydney girl. So. About face, please. Now, Tyreek and Justine are talking, and she says no matter what happens, they got each other this far, and she's proud of him. And she asked him how would he feel if he had to duel, and he said he ready. He like, I ain't been dueling this entire season, you know what I'm saying? So I saved up my energy for the duel for this very moment, so I'm ready. All right. Now, I personally felt like this season should have been 4 weeks. Okay, y'all gave us just 3 weeks. The reason for that, I'm not sure, but they should have just went ahead and stretched it out for another week. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. But anywho, Justine is starting to really like Tyreek. But honestly, for me, I didn't really think that Tyreek liked her like that. But that is still to be determined. I feel like Tyreek was really just liking Justine for the moment. But we shall see, because she really taking a strong liking to him. Now, they all gather around the fireplace so they can reminisce about their favorite memory and everything. And I didn't really care about what everybody was reminiscing about. But what I did catch around the fireplace was the fact that Johnny was sitting up there talking about, so we built this from the ground up since day one. Is you cool? Because you was not here day one, love. Is you cool? You was not here since day one. Okay? No. So, anywho, the only ones that were there were Zay, Lucinda, and Tyreek. But aside from that, Johnny asked Toby if he would split the prize money later on that night. Like, if you win, you're going to split. And he's like, what you think I would do? Let me tell y'all, Toby so shady, the way that he was willing to back a door Sydney when it came down to that fighting and that tussling. I do feel like he would have backdoored her had he won. But also at the same time, I want to believe that he would have split the money with her because he may have felt bad for how things looked potentially. But if he had to write down whether he was there for love or money, I really believe that Toby probably would have wrote the money down, and it just would have been an L, because I don't see him and Sydney going anywhere beyond this moment either. But we shall see. Now, Toby asked Johnny what would he do, and Johnny was like, yeah, he'll split it. And then of course they asked Tyreek. Tyreek said he didn't know. All right. Now the next morning, Tyreek tells Johnny that he doesn't want to do it with him in the finals. He's like, I want to do Toby and Sydney, because I know that Justine gonna be able to take on Sydney. Tyreek says that he can see himself dating her on the outside when it comes to Justine, because he's talking about that, and then says that Zay says that he was surprised that he found love. Because of that, he feels like that's what really kept him in the game. No shit, Sherlock, because she was locked in on these boys, all right? These guys, the three hoodlums. She was over there, and I hate to call them hoodlums, lack of a better word, but she was locked in on the three the hard way. So with her being locked in on them, they definitely secured her spot, and you just happened to come along with it when you linked up with Lucinda, right? So it all was a plan, and it eventually worked out. Now, Tyreek asked if I thought this was funny. So Toby says his situation was different from everybody else. So Johnny is laughing. He's like, oh, you can laugh all you want. And Johnny kind of like, and I will. And he laughed some more. Okay. Because it was hilarious. You made yourself look a fool. You embarrassed yourself. Like, that will forever be a key in Love Island history. Okay. So Tyreek asked him, well, if you like her so much, then why was you over there playing tug of war? Why was you over there playing tug of war with Casey? to sit next to Garby. Honey, I fell out. He says he didn't like her enough to compromise his games or whatever. Try, I guess. So Johnny says that Andreina, when it's time for him to talk about his, situation, he says Andreina is a beautiful girl, but I really got lucky when I ended up choosing that box and I ended up getting Gabby. So he's super happy. This is what I'm disappointed about with Gabby coming on the show at the time that she did, which is why I wish the show could have been another week. I don't feel like we really got to see what Gabby could really do for real, for real. I don't think we really seen like no challenges. Like really, this whole season could have been duels. Like them little extra put stuff in your mouth, throw it into the bowl, and let's do this obstacle course or whatever. And it started off cool, but I'm like, yo, if they had to duel it out and duke it out with y'all doing different creative things, I'm kind of here for dueling it. Okay. So yeah, but I hate that we didn't really get to see what Gabby could really do and also what Casey could really do. Definitely hated that. Now Zay and Lucinda, right, they're chatting and he said that he's ready to duel, and Lucinda says that she wants to battle Sydney because she's a bit afraid of Justine. For me, as I was watching this episode play out and the different times where they would mention certain stuff about Zay wanting to win and Lucinda, I just really felt like they finna win the show. It was something about it that was just giving those vibes to me. Lucinda, yeah, so she talks about that. Now Johnny has only known Gabby. So him and Gabby over there talking, he encouraging her and all of that. And then he gets in his confessional and he says, we're not just friends. It's not just two friends that's going to be dueling. You know what I'm saying? These are like two people that really care about each other that way, in that way. And I said, boy, you only known this damn lady for like a week and a half tops. And you over here talking about somebody that really care about each other. I guess. We shall see. But anywho, I feel it's giving moving too fast. But anyway, so Ariana arrives and we learn about who America chose. The first couple they picked was Justine and Tyreek. I said, yes. So glad, you know what I'm saying? I wanted Justine to at least go to the finals. Cool, got my girl in there. Sydney and Toby were also the ones going into the finals. And I was shocked. I honestly was not expecting Sydney and Toby to make it to the finals. I really was expecting Johnny and Gabby. But then when they said it and I saw her go over there and sit down, I said, yeah, girl, them white woman tears definitely worked. I think the people felt bad for you. And how Toby played you out and stuff like that. And I think that that's part of the reason why people really voted for you to go on to the finals. All right. Now, Johnny, you may have shot yourself in the foot with the big talk you was talking and how you kind of push Andrea off to the side like, oh, that's dead. She's over there with Josh now and whoop de whoop or whatever the case is. So, maybe, but honestly, I would have expected Tyreek to probably shoot himself in the foot more than you, the way that he was over there getting fly, right, with Josh or whatever the case is. But I'm sure Justine is the reason that he made it down to the finals. But anywho, I was shocked that Johnny and Gabby did not make it. That would have been a really interesting duel. I do believe that Gabby and Johnny probably would have won if they went up against Tyreek and them. And possibly if they went up against Zay and Lucinda. So anywho, but yeah, I was surprised about that. And Johnny was super surprised too, because I think Johnny really thought he had it in the bag, baby. He was so shocked. Yeah, boy. Bye. See you later. So hopefully, I wouldn't. I wonder if they're gonna try to get to know each other beyond the villa though. Like, just see what that is. I mean, they look cute together, but we'll see. I don't know. Johnny does give off one that can't be trusted. And because Johnny also lives to do these damn Love Island visits, okay, to live on the island on a regular basis, I'm willing to believe that Johnny is going to continue to keep himself as single as he can so that he can always be available to come back to the show. So y'all can date, but it'll never be locked in like that. Now, the Islanders are back and it's time to make a duel, right? I'm not going to hold y'all. I kept pressing 10 seconds forward, fast forward, because let's skip this small talk and let us get to the duels, okay? So y'all going to be missing a lot of that small talk. Okay, when it comes to me, all this long drawn out pauses and hesitation to announce stuff and looking at people's faces and asking, how are you doing, how are you feeling? I don't give a fuck about how they feeling. We already know everybody's nervous, even the Islanders that are in the audience, because they returned, they gonna be nervous. Like, nobody got time for this shit. So anywho, the first duel was a battle between all three remaining couples, right? So what the couple that comes in last place will be eliminated from the game. So they're doing this thing called Towers of Trust, which is the first duel. They have to move all, so they got these 3 different poles. They have about 5 discs on one pole. They have to move all the discs to the 3rd pole, but keep them in that order. What they can't do is put a large disc on top of a smaller disc. All right, so that was very challenging, but how I was looking at that challenge is the exact way Justina was looking at it, and I actually had it before they caught on, right? And I was glad Tyreek, he was like, trust me, trust me. I said, I know exactly what he's gonna do because I've been thinking it the whole time. So Justine and Tyreek, they ended up winning that thing, doing what they need to do. Who came in second place was Lucinda and Zay. It looked like Toby and Sydney were really close to getting to that place, but not really. Not really. I think who was really neck and neck was the 2 that won, Zay and Lucinda, Justine, and Tyreek. Okay, so they got the other 2 up out of here. I was kind of glad, like, get up off the screen. Like, I'm cool on y'all. Like, bye. All right. Now we get to the final duel, and they're in the ring. They got 4 corners. 2 of them are 2 corners are yellow, 2 corners are blue. Right? You got your blue team, your yellow team. You got Lucinda and Zay. They're a part of the yellow team. Justine and Tyreek, they're blue team. They got money bags, about 18 money bags sitting in the center of the ring. So they have small, medium, and large. All of these bags have certain amount of points. Right? They have to drag these bags to their corners. They get about 3 minutes. Right? So you have to drag these bags to your respective corners, and at the end of the game, whoever has the most points based on the size of the money bags, they will win the whole thing, right? Well, you also got to keep in mind there are 3 white bags that are small, medium, large that you do not want because they'll deduct even more points, right? If it's in your area, right, in one of your sections. In addition to that, if you can also go over to somebody else's square and take money from their square. So that's where the challenge and everything came in, right? At some point during this challenge, Tyreek went over to take money from, I think, Isaiah. And so they're tugging over this money, over this money, over this money. And then you got Lucinda doing exactly what she's supposed to do, which is take the white stuff, the white bags, put them over there into the other team's corner. Then you got Justine dragging them back. And I'm like, yo, they should have had a strategy where it's like, all right, bet once you get whatever bags you can from the center, just focus on the white bags. Just focus. I'm gonna focus on the money portion. You focus on the bag portion. And the gag for me, because I feel like Tyreek really messed it up for himself because you kept holding on to certain bags when what you should have did was when he wasn't willing to give you that bag, go and grab another one. Go and grab it up, grab it up. You know what I'm saying? Like, granted, the guy was gonna try to fight you for whatever bags, right? But at the same time, like once you kind of got him down on the ground, you could have grabbed 2 more and probably got him over there or whatever. So I don't know. I just think he could have did a better job, but they did the best that they could. Overall, Lucinda had me hollering. When Lucinda went and grabbed them white bags from the blue section and started dragging it into her yellow section, and they like, what the fuck is you doing? I was hollering. It was so funny. I said, baby, everybody discombobulated. Okay, we all just tired at this point. So anywho, it ended up being, because when it all was said and done, it really did look like Lucinda and Zay did have most of the bags in their area. It really looked like that. They had most of the bags in their area. And so once it came down to them announcing who won, Tyreek and Justine already knew they lost. You could tell, you could look at their face and just tell they already knew they lost because they had so many over there. And that is exactly what happened. Lucinda and Isaiah won the entire thing. So shout out to them, they won. I was more so happy for Zay than I was for Lucinda because Lucinda got on my fucking nerves for real. I started liking her in like the first week. By the second week, it was a wrap for Shorty. But I was happy for Zay because I feel like for me, people may not have liked Zay, but I feel like Zay kept it the most honest for majority of the show. Zay got Chris up out of there. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I got to play my game. At the end of the day, I got to get Chris the hell up out of here. I'm not trying to see that man in no duel. He even told Josh to his face, and Johnny, I ain't trying to duel y'all. At the end of it, y'all are not the ones I'm trying to be, because I'm probably not going to win. Like, I just felt like he kept it honest. Even when he was over there talking to Josh about stuff, and the guys was like, why are you over there talking to him? Okay, so you want to keep people when they down? Like, what you want me to do? You think I'm just supposed to be cool with y'all? Like, I'm cool with him too, but like, why I can't talk to folks? Like, who the hell y'all think y'all is? So, I mean, I for me, can appreciate, in my opinion, Zay standing on his own for the most part. Like, okay, he kind of grouped up with y'all just a little piece, but at the same time, I feel like he had his own mind. And it is what it is what it is. And he wasn't afraid to put people that were threats up. Okay, because not only did he put up Chris, he turned around and did it with the team where he put up Josh, and then he turned around him and his partner and put up Johnny and Gabby. And I really think that Tyreek, they didn't show us this footage, but I really believe Tyreek and Zay had a conversation, or Tyreek, Zay, Lucinda, and Toby all had a conversation to, in the next challenge, try to get Johnny out. And Johnny about knew that, which is why he went to them asking, like, are y'all trying to take me to the final four? Like, are y'all sure y'all trying to take me to the finals or whatever? Like, they already knew what was up. Because when Tyreek told Lucinda the other day, like, I saw you pull that play or whatever, basically encouraging Isaiah to nominate Johnny and Gabby, because they stayed on Johnny and Gabby head damn near the whole game, the whole casino night. So it was definitely a scheme that the boys cooked up for sure. But I think that Isaiah didn't mind, right? So for them to like suggest that, if they did, I feel like, okay, I was thinking about that anyway. Okay. So, because I ain't trying to compete with his ass, so it ain't no problem for me to get him up out the game. So there's that. Once Isaiah won everything, you can see Josh over there about to damn near cry, girl, if he didn't already cry, honey, because you know he about to want Tyreek to win shit after this that argument or that back and forth they had. So the Islanders, this was very interesting and I kind of liked it. So the Islanders get to pick, they get to vote on who they want to win the money, and everybody gets only one vote. Now, and whoever gets that all the money, whoever wins, they get the opportunity to either keep it all or split it. But before that happens, they had to write on the card whether it was going to be for love or for money. If they said love, they would split the money. If they wrote money, then they would keep all of it, right? So it came down to it. Lucinda had 5 people standing behind her. Zay had 12 people. I said, whew, I feel like the whole villa felt how I felt, just a little piece. So everybody stood behind Zay. I'm hollering. I believe even Merch stood behind Zay. And y'all know he was ready to get him back something. Lucinda, like, I'm going to wait for her. Don't wait long, okay? Because she done got her a much taller man on top of $125,000, okay? So anywho, what ended up happening was they was taking forever. I was just like, fast forward. I don't have time for all this dramatic ass music. I just don't have time for all this staring into space. Like, let's just get to the point, please. And so we learned that, of course, he chose love just like she did. So they are going to be splitting the 100 or at least the 250,000. So they both get 125,000. All right. So I did not hear nothing that Tyreek and Justine said about them taking the L and whether they were disappointed in themselves or not. Don't know what they said, but I fast forwarded. I do feel like this episode, which was an hour and 15 minutes, did not have to be drug on this fucking long in my personal. Some things definitely could have been left out of the episode, to me, or cut short or whatever, some of these conversations that people were having. And this really could have been an hour long episode. Like, it really didn't even have to be that long, because I about fast forward through at least 15 minutes of unnecessary shit on the show. But that's all I got. Love Island Games is indeed a complete wrap. I thank you guys so much for hanging out with me when it comes down to the Love Island universe. All right, when the new season rolls back around for games and the regular Love Island USA, we will definitely be tapping into it. And that's pretty much it. So make sure you're liking up the video. Okay, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you have yet to do so. You can catch me on social media at JamiThatsMe, and I'll catch y'all in the next one, honey. Bye.
Yeah, telling my priest to the choir, stand with my feet to the fire, give all the glory to God. Stand in the midst of these haters, I'm silent, nobody can stop me. Just gotta check in my notification, them numbers hit like it's a praxis.